Welcome to Get Hired Now. Hi, I'm Al Smith, co-author of the Amazon best-selling book, Hired: Paths to Employment in the Social Media Era. And this is the part one of handling typical interview questions and how to prepare for them in advance. And what we'll do throughout this series is offer 5 ways to handle these things, hints to help you get hired now. Here's one that you almost always get asked. So tell me about yourself. Well, you don't want to go on with a never-ending story that you start way back when, and you certainly don't want to recite what we call your career obituary, otherwise known as your resume. They can start with, oh, my first job back when the Dead Sea only had the sniffles. What they're really looking for is the fact that it's all about them. You need to be asking questions and answering questions that show that you care what their needs are, because they have a job, but they don't care if you need one. You do this by showing what you can do, what you bring to the table. In other words, your value proposition. And you can clearly state that through an interview brochure or an typical interview resume. But it needs to be focused content. You want to speak about your professional background, something that shows your passion and that you want you want this job. And you can do this by using what we call STAR stories, where you state the situation, the tasks or tactics that were necessary or could be taken, the actions that were taken, and the results from those actions. Then you also can redirect to additional accomplishments that you've had. And you do this first by writing everything down. Start by getting everything down. Then you distill it down to the more salient content. Record this. Use your phone or a recorder and listen to it. And you want to limit this to 30 to 45 seconds. And you want to make it flow naturally. So if you're asked the question, so tell me about yourself. My passion is managing and training employees to maximize their potential. I excel at discovering and leveraging the individual's motivators to accomplish the company's goals. For instance, a formerly award-winning, highly experienced salesperson was underperforming. And after work one evening, I shook my head and, just seemingly incredulous, I asked, why do you think this is, Dennis? After a discussion and my suggestions, he once again became a perennial award-winning salesperson. Would you like for me to share a similar accomplishment? That only took a few seconds. You can do this too. So let's talk about and review the 5 hints that we offered here on how to handle the typical question, so tell me about yourself. 1, avoid regurgitating your resume. 2, remember that it's all about them and their needs. You can do this by stating your value proposition, the things that you bring to the table for them. But you need to focus your content by using STAR stories, and you need to practice. If you include these in your next interviews, before your next interviews, it will help you get hired now. And if you'd like the book, Hired: Paths to Employment in the Social Media Era, you can go to www.hiredthebook.com, or you can go to Amazon and get the e-version or the paperback. In either case, what we want you to do is get hired now.